are working on number 3 for the stamps, stencils, and what I changed it to was an acrylic paint background. And what we're using as inspiration for this is our Acrylic Revolution book that has all sorts of different techniques in it. And I want you to try something new for the background. Remember, we had said originally it was going to be a tissue paper background. We've already done that, so we're not going to do another one. We've already learned. So now we're going to move on and try something new. So the one I'm going to do today is a crackle technique. And what that is, and it's number 48 in the book in case you wanted to look with the reference. The crackle technique is made by painting the surface and then applying a layer of glue and then another layer of paint on top while the glue is still wet, and the way it works is the glue somehow magically, scientifically makes the paint crackle. So what I'm going to do first is choose my color scheme. And so I have my colors picked out right here, and I also wanted to show you another way to apply a paint without, apply paint without using a paintbrush. So I have some paints right here, and I want to make sure you guys all have something under your surface. I've already made a mess, but something under your surface. And what you'll be using for these are the boards over in the blue basket. Oop. Some of these are open. You guys can use any of the paints you want. You just got to make sure if it's some in the buckets, you have to ask for them to be poured because they're a little bit messy. Just so are these, especially if they haven't been open. They need to be shaken.
So we're going over on white first?
No, I just did that because mine was like cardboardy. Some of them are white in there. It depends. It's all up to you. It wouldn't really make a difference. It didn't really need to be covered. I just did it to have a fresh start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drip some paint on here. Remember, what I'm trying to teach you is how you don't really have to apply with a brush. And then I'm going to drip my next colors on. And what I'm working with now is almost like a complementary color scheme. Remember, paint mixes, so if you put it next to another color, it might blend in with it. Keep that in mind when you're putting your paint down. And then I'm going to go with my last one. This is a little obnoxious orange, but I still am going to try it. And it's a little shaky still because these haven't been opened. So then what I'm going to do to make just my background is use the roller. And you'll notice my paint, anytime there's any moisture on a surface like this, it's going to bow a little bit, which is not a huge deal, especially since we're just experimenting. And remember, mixed media is all about layering. So this is just layer number 1. This is not the end-all be-all. So I'm going to apply my paint kind of in a funky way, just different than the norm. And trying not to over-mix it, because what happens if I over-mix? Yep, it's already starting. It's turning brown, which is okay. Remember, oops, see, I'm messy. I should have used a bigger painting mat. So I got my first layer done. And I've painted just abstract. Remember, you don't really have to have a theme for this one. It's non-representational unless you decide you wanted to do something like patterns. But, so here's my first layer of background. I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back again to see part 2. So I'm going to let this one dry, and then I'll do part 2 of the crackle and call you guys back over.